The Ultimate Iron Man, the hardest and most restricted game mode in old school RuneScape. No banking or trading other players. And after claiming the world record for fastest maxscape on a main account, I decided to step it up and speedrun max total on an Ultimate Iron Man. Just me and my inventory in a race against the clock. And the goal? 99 in all skills before the timer hits 2000 hours. This is the Ultimate Iron Man maxscape speedrun any percent. Yo, welcome back to the Ultimate Iron Man speedrun. In the previous episode we made a significant amount of progress, even though some things didn't go as planned, but still unlocked very important items like a dragon scimitar, a fighter torso and barrel gloves. But one essential thing is still missing, and that is the seed box, so we're gonna pay a visit to the Tide Farm today. The Tide Farm, everybody's favorite skilling activity. The players love it so much that it got an update recently that made it instance even before Sepulchre got instances. That's how good it is. Anyway, before coming here I had to get rid of my items because normally you would use the graceful outfit here. So rune energy will probably be a problem here for me, since I don't have access to energy pots at the moment. So I dead banked at Renner's Dragon again to have no unnecessary items on me. And at Tide Farm I just did the 20 times 5 method because the 25 fruits was just not maintainable with limited rune energy. And this is actually before the Tide Farm update, so we do lose some time here because the update is making the points around 40% faster, I believe. But I just had to get the seed box right now, so I couldn't wait for the update. But the nice thing is that I do have to do more rounds now, so that means more XP. And I can definitely use some farming XP, as I'm not able to plant the second tier of seeds yet. And when I hit 51 farming, I went over to the cooking guild and bought some garden pies to boost for the next seed. But I'm not gonna bore you guys any further with this content called Tide Farm, so here's my seed box. And I got up to 60 farming from this, so that is quite nice. Another thing I did after dead banking was getting the rogue's outfit. Actually, I did this before getting the seed box, since you are not allowed to take any items with you here. Yes, a crate on the first one, that is always a nice feeling. But the fun part about this on the Ultimate Iron Man is that I have to walk all the way to my player-owned house in Cheverly to store one piece at a time, since you aren't allowed any items into the minigame. And I really don't mind doing this. It's like a baby version of Sepulchre in a way. But I get that it is old content, but it would be so much nicer if you get your rune energy back after a lap. Even your agility level that gets drained while doing the obstacles gets reset to normal. So yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. But overall we got pretty lucky because that is the last piece of the outfit already. I only got one rogue kit and I failed 2 times, so yeah, I would say that is pretty good RNG. It took me less than an hour to do this. And that was all I had to do during this dead bank. Time to move on after getting my items back. Now that we are at TOB, why not invite some friends over to run some tops? Well, not really, as I'm just dancing around in the back and fletching some headless arrows, while they do all the hard work. And the same goes for Bloat. But why am I doing TOB? After Bloat and Soda Sack, there is a supply chest that contains a handful of potions and food. Most notable, stamina pots, normally requiring 77 herblore to make on an Iron Man. But with the help of some talented gamers from PVM Resources, I can get my hands on a couple stamina pots without grinding for 77 herblore. This chest has a point system, based on your contribution in the previous rooms. Even though I'm not really doing anything, but as long as I'm logged in and I don't die, and I do one hit on the Nilos at Maiden, I get full points every time. Previously, you could spend all your points on staminas, buying like 10 per raid, but now you can only buy 1 per raid. So with the extra points, I buy 2 or 3 brews, and they will come in handy for later. And after buying the potions, we all leave the raid and repeat. Also picked up a couple CA tasks at Maiden and Bloat. That is Perfect Maiden, 5 points. Can't Drain This, another 5 points. And we got a 2 down bloat because I helped with my air staff bashing for another 5 points. This gives us a nice head start as I plan to complete the medium CA tier with the new point system. And that was already the last stamina pot I needed. And I noted the potions at the Grand Exchange, so we are walking away with 10 staminas and 22 brews. And also fletched 14k headless arrows. You probably already figured out where I need the staminas for, but I'm looking to make the pool in my POH, so I can use that instead of clan wars to recharge my run. But building stuff in the POH is quite expensive, and I also still need to buy some gear for Slayer. And that's not gonna happen with my current cash tag. So it's time to knock out some Manified Thugs for around 800k GP. At first I wasn't planning on getting the Rogue's outfit, as I thought it would be inefficient to get. But it is definitely helping me out with this, and it will also be huge for Master Farmers in the future. I'm only going to do this for a little bit, because it is much more efficient to thieve artifacts and do multi-skilling. However, I do need thieving for a couple hard diaries, so I'm aiming for 75 thieving for now. And also found a guy botting, so I played with him for a little bit on my main account. And there is 75. XP rates looking pretty good at 231k per hour. But now it's time to pimp out the POH a bit. Bought all the runes at the Wizard's Guild and the materials for the portals and the pool. Then I deadpiled to get some items out of my looting bag and to make a little bit more space. That way I could unload 20 mahogany logs to complete the Varrock medium task and to build the portal frames. Made the first pool and redirected the portals. The first one to Self Graveyard for Faderings. The second one I wanted to do to Padua, but that wasn't possible for some reason. And the third one to Corrent Castle for Slayer. And then lastly upgraded the pool to a stamina pool, so now we can sip this for run energy. And then I made all my Irits into super attack potions, because my next big goal is to get 69 Slayer. But the Slayer prep is not completely done. I'm still missing 60 attack for dragon weapons. So all this was still done before the end of the last episode, where I completed Recipe for Disaster. And in there I said I did do organized crimes to get 60 attack, but I only showed me doing it with melee. But I spiced it up after realizing its potential. When I was doing this, I realized the gang meetings are pretty much always in multi, and there are sometimes up to 10 NPCs to kill. And they have a very common drop of noted oak, teak and mahogany planks. So I bought some burst runes and swapped my spellbook to ancients and went to town. I did bag my ancient staff on accident, but it shouldn't matter. The normal gangsters also have a 1 in 5 chance to drop intelligence. So on average I should get 2 to 3 per meeting. And with the help of my friend Baloo and 2 of my own alts, we were able to do 5 or 6 meetings per cycle, as they would only stay there for 5 minutes. Resulting in a full inventory of intelligence pretty much every time. And on top of that, a good amount of planks as well. And when turning in the intelligence, you get around 1.2k XP at my level. So if I would trade in, well, a full inventory for me is like half an inventory. But if I would trade in 10 intelligence for 1.2k each, that is 12k XP. And that took me only 5 minutes of in-game time to get. So if you do that times 12 to get to an hour, that is over 140k combat XP, while getting a lot of noted planks as well. So it is really good. And after running out of runes, I managed to get 1100 oak, almost 400 teak and 200 mahogany planks. And also got 55 defense, 61 strength and attack. However, I am only 72 combat, so I will need to do a couple Slayer tasks at Teldar before I can start going to Konar. But first, it's time to clean out the inventory, so I'm going to use up the planks real quick. And of course, I'm going to do mahogany homes for that, to get enough points for a plank sack for the future. And I also quickly got a Xerix talisman from the stone chests. And I had no clue that this was this good XP per hour. Like, what? And I got the talisman after 200 chests, so once again under the raid. But the talisman itself isn't worth getting for doing a bit of mahogany homes. But there's also a diary step that requires it, so might as well get it now. When doing mahogany homes, sometimes you also need steel bars. And normally players use the blast furnace itself to make 28 steel bars and then just withdraw 6 every time you run out. But since I don't have 60 smithing yet, I just bought 6 iron ore and 12 coal and just superheated the bars on my way back to get a new contract from Amy. Saves me a little bit of time and gets me some free magic XP. But that is the last of the planks. Took a couple hours to use them, but got more than enough points for a plank sack. And well over 74 construction from level 70. And probably won't be doing any more mahogany homes on this account, as it's not the best con XP per hour for Ultimate Iron Man. But now it's finally time to buy the last pieces of the Slayer gear, barrel gloves, my best in slot gloves for this run, and a Dragon Battle Axe. This weapon is only used for its special attack, which boosts my strength level similar to a super strength potion. But getting enough super strengths isn't really viable for where my account is at now, so I'm gonna use the Dragon Battle Axe over the Dragon Dagger. The first task I got from Childar is Blue Dragon, so I'm gonna kill the babies because the big ones are a little bit too strong for me still. But it's not the best task, but I guess I got some prayer XP from burying the baby dragon bones. Alright Childar, what is next? What? What even are Shadow Warriors, man? It turns out these can be found in the Legends Guild basement. And I don't think I've ever been down here. And what are pit scorpions? This is some real old school shit, man. It would be kinda cool to see a small update to this place. Maybe put like multi-combat black demons in here or something. That allows for using a cannon. Just some like niche little thing to give it some more life. This is actually not a bad task in terms of XP rates. They have kinda low defense and decent hit points. And I also figured out a way to pretty much always lazy flick my prayers. I was getting tired of one tick flicking the entire time, so I tried some stuff out to get the monster to attack me on the same tick as I attack it. The monster needs to be on an even attack cycle though, for it to work. It's easiest done with monsters that aren't aggressive or after you lost aggro. But what you want to do is to attack the monster, wait one tick, then run 2 tiles away from the monster, and then you can just wait for auto retaliate to take over. And with this you can also very easily pick up items without losing ticks, as long as you stay into the 2 tile range. And after doing some more tasks, I did get 75 combat right before my 10th task, so I can snack the point boost at Konar now. Fire Giants in the Karulm Slayer dungeon. Not ideal, but I guess I'll give it a go. Yeah, I'm very bad at flicking these, because I cannot do my little lazy flick trick. However, I did get a Konar key, so that is kinda nice. But I'm going to skip this for now and probably block it later, because yeah, this task isn't that good and the 5 ticking is annoying. And next up we get Calfights in the Calfight lair. That's also not great, but it's kind of whatever, man. And from the key I got some runner seeds. So it seems like the game is telling me to make some prey pots. Now that I got 75 combat, I will be doing 9 Spria tasks and my 10th at Konar to build points. I did get 65 attack on this task though, which means I can enter the Warriors Guild and get my defenders. However, there is something I want to do first that will speed up the defender grind by a bit. And that is the medium combat achievements. One of the rewards is 200% increased tokens in the Warriors Guild. So I would get 75 for killing 1 mithril armor instead of 25. And on average you need like 1.5 to 2k of those tokens to get a Dragon Defender. So it's gonna save me quite a bit of time. With the new tier system, you need 115 points to unlock the medium rewards. Currently I am sitting at like 20 points or so. So how am I going to get the other 95? Well, the answer is simple. PVM Resources. These guys offer one of the best CA boosting servers out there. Founded by one of the admins and members from BA services, so they are experienced in working with customers. On top of that, they don't tax their workers like other boosting services, which means you can expect cheaper prices when choosing for PVM resources. And you will find that all of their team is very friendly and are more than happy to adjust services to your needs and account types. I'll leave a link to their Discord down below. So what are we going to do? All the 95 points are obtainable from the Chambers of Zarek. And the only thing I have to do while they are doing the raid is to log in right before they complete a task or the raid. So on my first raid completion I got the Grandmaster Speedrun time and of course the Master time for 11 points combined. During my first CM we completed a bunch of tasks for all the rooms. Sometimes even 2 tasks at the same time. I even had to get my hands dirty to finish off Ice Demon with a fire spell for another 4 points. And even completed Perfect On without stepping foot into the room. Oh yo, I got Preserve. That is gonna come in handy for sure later on for Slayer and Woodcutting, I think. And with completion of the Master Trio speed time, I think we are done. The bar at the top seems bugged right now, I don't know what's going on, but I should be 3 points away from medium right now, and I can quickly get those myself. One for killing a Greater Demon, and another one for killing it with a Demon Bane weapon. And lastly, a Bloodveld for the final task, and yes, we have enough points to unlock the medium tier rewards for the combat achievements. All the tasks I got at Chambers only took us 20 minutes of in-game time. And with the 15k Herblore from the lamps, that is actually better than just doing Herblore in terms of EHP. And on top of that, I get the triple tokens from the animated armors. After collecting around 1k tokens, I went upstairs to start killing the Cyclopses. I usually have decent RNG while getting the defenders, so let's see how it goes. And luckily these are 4 ticks, so I can pick up and bury all the bones without losing ticks or DPS. That's some extra prayer XP. A rune defender within the 1k tokens. Took me around 1 hour and 20 minutes to get a rune defender and 237 Cyclopses. So that is pretty lucky. Let's move on to the dragon defender. Oh, finally a dragon defender. I went a little bit dry on this one. Almost 200 kills for the dragon defender. But at least we got a nice amount of GP from the alcohols here. And in total I killed 416 Cyclopses and only 30 animated armors, which would have been 90 if I didn't do the combat achievements. Back at Slayer again, about to finish this Greater Demon task. But as you can see, I'm still using a rune defender. And I'm still trading strength. And the reason for that is that I would like to keep my combat level under 80. Because some Slayer monsters have a combat requirement. And at level 80 I unlock Black Demons, Iron and Black Dragons. And those are pretty bad tasks. So even when I have Dragon Slayer done, I can only get assigned Bronze and Blue Dragons at the moment. So with only trading strength right now, I can delay my 80 combat a little bit and to buy myself some more time to stack up points. Just finished my 50th task and only 1 level away from 80 combat now. So gonna do a couple Konar tasks to get me to level 58 Slayer as soon as possible. Hellhounds in Teverly, yeah, that one is going on the block list. I also blocked Call Fights earlier and still looking to block Fire Giants. Bronze Dorks. It's time to say goodbye to my points, I think. Sure, Brian Rats, whatever. I still haven't had any Bloodvelds though, that is kinda a shame. Brian Rats done, I got 1 key from them. And oh, yo, Fire Giants, that's my 3rd block. Blue Dragons on the Isle of Souls. Yeah, that's a skip, that is really bad. Oh my god, Konar, stop trolling me with the dragons. Dagonotes, sure. And the chest gave me some uncut rubies, that is really good for the mounted Dig's Head pendant later on. I need to turn in 250 cut rubies at the Varrock Museum. And now a little bit later I got some Dagonotes again, this time on Waterbird Island. And I hit 80 combat, so I'm training defense now. And there is level 58 Slayer, which means it's time to do some more quests to unlock Cave Horrors. I need to complete Rumdeal and Cabin Fever to get access to Mostly Harmless to kill some Cave Horrors. And both of these quests are actually quite simple and short, so I already completed them. And I'm now on my way to slaughter some cave horrors. Man, it's been a while since I've been here and killed cave horrors. I think I did this in like 2014 for Heartloose and GP, which is 9 years ago at this point. I'm getting kinda old. Anyway, in the current year we have the Fortnite spells to resurrect heads for prayer XP. And I was like, might as well bring these, because they don't really drop too many alcohols and a couple K prayer XP is always welcome. They also have good seed drops, which means that I'm probably doing this task for Slayer. That's kinda crazy how I went from a logout spec transfer Slayer with 6 alts to prey flicking cave horrors with a dragon scimitar. Alright dude, I can't keep getting away with this. I have some stupid RNG on this account. Only 193 kills for the Black Mask. And that's another item at like half the drop rate. So it's only a matter of time that I go dry somewhere, I think. And I do have a pretty bad feeling about the bucket from Hespori and the Berserker Ring. But that is still far away, so I got my Black Mask and I'm happy. But you guys will have to wait a little bit to see the Black Mask in action, as this marks the end of today's video. But before you all leave, let's take a look at my skills and the looting bag. In the last video I didn't show my stats, so we can't really compare anything right now. But here are my stats for this video. Made a solid start to Slayer and Melees, and looking to achieve a 69 Slayer in the next video and hopefully have high enough combat stats to take on the Sins of the Father boss fight. The rest of the stats are also coming along nicely, 74 magic and almost 60 herb lore, and closing in on 1500 total. The playtime when getting the Black Mask was just shy of 200 hours and current EHP is 169. So we are down some hours and it will probably stay like that because of stored herb lore XP in the end. But yeah, it is just what it is. And now for the looting bag. It is pretty full and still a lot of winter dot loot. Also some farming stuff and of course the 22 brews, can't forget about those. And the dragon eggs, of course. But yeah, that was the end. I hope you enjoyed the video and please like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel out if you do that. And I'll see all of you guys in the next one. Take care.